three stages to this game. You play, you compete, and lethal.
Steps into it. Pass is caught. Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
All day. Looking deep for Hollywood Brown again. He's got it. Brown off to the races. And he stays on his feet. Touchdown!
For overtime. Packers clock is blocked. It's picked up by the Titans. This game is over. Second down in the air and picked off by Brad. Will he get it here? Yes!
Welcome to episode 2 of the 3-man draft. Episode 2. I can't believe it. The first episode was more successful than I think any of us thought. 74 people? 74, 75 people. So we want to thank all of those people who listened to that first episode because it blew us away really. Just 3 guys who had a few beers and we just chatted absolute madness about NFL for 1 hour and 20 minutes. It was good, but we're here for episode 2. Hopefully it is as good as the last one and you enjoy it. Again, I'm with Reese Boy and Hampo. They're both with me. Say hello.
Hello, how are we all?
How's everyone? Hope you're all well.
Welcome back.
So yeah, here we are. So we're going to go straight in with news because things have happened while we've been away. People have signed and people have left and free agency is about to kick in. And the first thing I want to start us off at is the big news that has taken so long to get out of Dallas is Dak Prescott, and I think we're definitely going to go to Hamper on this one. What his thoughts are on Dak? I mean, you're going to be glad, aren't you? Really?
Dak is back, baby. Yeah, I am very, very happy. I think it was just it took too long. I honestly, there was a part of me that thought it wasn't going to happen. I really did. You hear loads of teams sort of lingering about, making a push because they need a quarterback and things like that. So for Dallas to finally give him the 4-year contract, I was very pleased as a Dallas fan.
Yeah, to be fair, it was just the crazy rumours before, like the fact that I think Dallas released a promo video for the next season and he wasn't in it, and everyone's going, "Oh, he's going, he doesn't want to be there." But I think we even said in the last pod, we were like, "Yeah, he's going to step, isn't he?" Well, yeah.
I mean, as a Dallas fan, and
they weren't going to get
seeing it on all socials, I think everyone was sort of quietly confident that he was going to sign. I think it's one of those things. Until it's done, you never really know. But Dak got paid. Dak got paid big time.
He got paid.
I mean, you have lost players like Andy Dalton, so upset about that, or?
I am. To be fair, like Dak being injured pretty much the whole season. I think it was week 5 he got injured. I didn't actually think he did too bad coming in. I respected him. I thought he gave it his all. But yeah, he was just losing Dak. It was just never gonna. I think the players around the QB didn't really feel the connection like they did with Dak, and they weren't confident that they could catch balls. But for him, I am kind of gutted, because I didn't mind the QB.
To give him the benefit of the doubt as well, was that he come into what for him was a completely new franchise.
Yeah, exactly.
Had to try and learn everything when he was probably more, as you say, thinking he's going to be sat on the bench.
Well, he's at the Bengals and he was a starter there for years. So he was never like, when we signed him, I said to my old man, I was like, it's a good backup to have. Like,
agreed.
Yeah, like for the backups that were out there at the time, the QBs that were on the market, like you probably would have been I'd say probably in top 3.
Oh, yeah,
and for us to get him,
you've taken a starter, haven't you? You've taken a starter
exactly.
and made him your backup rather than just find another backup who's not done anything else but it. I mean, yeah, it's interesting where I think he's going to go to. So I don't know if there's any.
I mean, for him, he probably still thinks after a season he didn't have a terrible year. He'd probably have an argument of going somewhere and being a starter again instead of a bench player.
I can't see him going somewhere and being a starter again.
I mean, for me, I suppose the person in that position now is going to be going to the Dolphins is Fitzpatrick. What happens with him this year? He's 38, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's getting on, but I think he's brilliant.
I think he's still a starter.
100%.
I swear he was retiring now. Is he not thinking about retirement?
The rumours were he was going to retire, but he's come out and said that he wants to carry on playing.
Fair.
You know,
Going back to that season, he was like absolutely dominating at the beginning, and like things were just flowing there. The Miami was awesome, and he was at the helm. And then it was like, we're putting two in.
Yeah, we'll bring Tiller and give him his time.
Yeah, but they still did well. I mean, I think everyone was assumed that he was just going to mentor, he'd be happy to move over out of the way. But I think he was actually a little bit peeved, a little bit like, I didn't want to. But going back to Dak, if you go back to his stats, you look at the beginning of that season, last season before he got injured. He was on track for
easily, I'd say, a 4,000
stats in front of me. But he was just insane.
Well, that's the thing that was so sort of heartbreaking almost as a Dallas fan. Like, don't get me wrong, like every year for us as a franchise, playoffs is the aim. If not further, great, but playoffs is the aim. And I honestly thought last season, I know you guys give me stick, but I honestly thought we had a good chance. Like, we were, like, he was throwing the ball well. We were just looking well. Like defensively, we need some help, but going forward, we've got some absolute weapons. And they were starting to link. Like, we had CeeDee Lamb in the draft last year, which was an absolute steal. I think we got him at 18. I think.
Yeah, what a player!
What did he play? Five games, didn't he, in the season?
And I think he was so, him coming in on top of Michael Gallup, Murray Cooper, and so on. It's just but yeah, I mean, next year hopefully he comes back. He says he's nearly in his signing conference. He's nearly back to 100%. So.
Looking at this, so for the regular season for 2020, he had a rating of 99.6 QB rating.
But yeah,
he's 1,800 yards in 5 games and 9 touchdowns.
They know what they've got, Dallas. They know what they've got.
Yeah.
He was always going to get signed. So it's just, I think, it's just good news for Dallas.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, buzzing. Tom Brady. I know we keep talking about quarterbacks in this pod, but at the moment it's the big news.
It's the only news, isn't it? Yeah.
I've never ever seen an off season where it's just quarterbacks could be going all over the show. But yeah, no, Tom Brady,
Brady signed for 4 years.
Trying to get ahead around this contract.
Yeah,
so
it's an odd one.
Only been announced for when Tom recorded probably 3 or 4 hours ago, but I think it's a 4-year contract, but to assist Tampa Bay in their cap space, it voids to a 1-year contract, so he's guaranteed locked in until 2022. It saves the Bucks almost $19 million in cap for the year, or gets the cap for this year. So, I mean, he's definitely coming back for this season coming. And do we think he can lead him?
Does it run it back?
100%.
Can he run it back?
Can he do it?
I love to hate the bloke. Like if you're on the other end, you're like, I hate him so much, but I respect him so much.
You can't not
really,
can you?
I want him to be in the league as long as possible. I think we're living in he's like the Messi, Ronaldo of his world, really. And I think we're graced to be in front, be able to watch a quarterback who's record-breaking Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean, he's won more Super Bowls than the Steelers themselves.
He's won more Super Bowls than every franchise in the NFL.
I think he's on tie, isn't he, with a few?
He's won more than every single franchise. The most won by a franchise, I think, is 6 and he's won 7. So he has won more than every other franchise in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't see it being incapable for him to lead them to at least the NFC Championship this year.
He's just ridiculous.
They won't win the Super Bowl this year.
Good. And he's you know what? He's a decent guy, and he's just.
He just seems nice, and he's kind of the bloke you wouldn't mind sitting down and having a chat with. And
I think up players a lot to have a chat with. Gronkowski.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is with Gronk is that him.
He's just crazy, though, isn't he?
Yeah, the stories he'd have.
But him coming back this year was going to be based on Brady, wasn't it? So the idea was that he might
Tom
go back
brought
into
so many
retirement.
players there, though.
What do you think? Antonio Brown?
Yeah.
Antonio Brown, Gronkowski,
Fournette, running back.
Fournette, yeah.
Like, the thing is, if you correct me if I'm wrong, Reese, Statman Reese, but I don't really believe Gronk had actually a good year, really, up until Super Bowl, maybe the game before. I think we got two touchdown passes, and a big play to get a first down, I believe. I don't think he actually had a great year.
So he had 45 receptions, 7 touchdowns. So regular season, 45 receptions for 623 yards, 7 touchdowns, and then postseason, to be fair, 8 receptions for 2 touchdowns. So yeah, not huge. I think for him, it was more the opportunity arose, and I mean he's still young, isn't he? In comparison, when you talk about Brady's age, he's only 30, 31.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was almost that fact of he's come back and he's done something, and I think just because of who he is and what he does, he creates more than what he actually statistically shows. So people will probably cover him more which gives his receivers and then the other tight end on the field more of an opportunity to be a target. But yeah, I think you assume he's going to come back this season as well.
Yeah, I think they're all that team want to. All the guys that have only got like 1 year contracts and short contracts, they all want to keep that team together. So they're going to do things. They are happy to take cuts.
That's what Brady said. That's the reason why this contract that he's taken has been voided almost to just a single year, because it creates a lot more cap space to keep the team together.
Yeah. Well, didn't they franchise tag Gordon, the wide receiver? I believe. Is that right?
I don't know.
I think they did. Yeah.
Get a stat man on it.
Let's have a look. Tampa.
Yeah, it's they're gonna be a scary team.
Well, I don't believe they're actually going to lose any players, really, are they?
No.
So it's going to.
Yeah, Chris Godwin.
Yeah, Chris Godwin. Yeah.
Godwin, the wide receiver. Yeah.
So I don't really. Yeah. If they
How
don't
old is Chris
lose,
Godwin? I feel like he's really old, but I don't think he is. He's like 24, something like that.
Yeah, he is 25.
25. I feel like he's been around for ages, but
Yeah, he was 25 2 weeks ago.
good player he is.
I mean, free agency, as you say, it's becoming huge.
It's all a bit
Obviously, today
crazy.
we've had the Cam Newton.
Yeah, I was going to say
information as well.
Cam Newton.
they're crazy for re-signing him.
I don't. Yeah, I
I'm
know.
sorry.
They've only given him a year's contract, but I think the comment we made about the Colts last time on the last pod, where we said that they're just taking a quarterback to fill a void until they can find their next franchise quarterback. You think they had Brady for how many years?
Since the year 2000, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's nearly 20 years minimum. 17, 18 years, something like that minimum.
Crazy.
So they've now got to try and you're not going to find the next Tom Brady, but they've got to try and find someone who
Going to lead it forward.
is who's going to be that franchise QB, who's going to be the face of the Patriots.
Cam Newton definitely isn't. He's not there. He's not there to be their face.
It's weird because
I think
I'm
they'll
a
kid
fan
themselves.
of Cam, but I think I was a fan of him at the Panthers. I think obviously the Super Bowl year they won, but yeah,
He looked like a different player at the Panthers.
yeah. I just don't think he's got any of his. Like I think he used to pride himself in his running game, but you watch him and he has so many fumbles and
I don't think he fits
turnovers.
the
I just
Patriots.
think, I don't know, crazy one. I think, but I still think they'll draft a QB.
I mean,
I think they'll go for a QB in the draft.
Going away
personally.
from the QB talk, but staying on draft, Juju. What do you think? Obviously, there was a lot of.
It's got to be one of the biggest ones out there, isn't it?
100%.
The reason, I mean, you've got it's quite a big wide receiver free agency list. You've got Will Fuller from the Texans.
I'm quite happy to have him dance on some crests for the Ravens, but he wouldn't. I don't think he'll ever come to us after playing for the
Not the Steelers.
too.
Yeah, I mean,
Too much of a rival.
Smith-Schuster. There's also a big wide receiver almost amount available within that free agency spec, and it's what teams actually need them. It's where it's coming from. Who's either not got a wide receiver one, or if they're looking for that number two.
So ESPN are reporting here that Cardinals, 3 of potential place, or the Jets.
I mean, the Cardinals.
Or the Jets.
Have the Cardinals?
I think for him, no thanks.
How long's Hopkins' contract at the Cardinals? Because
You think if he goes there, he's going to take some of the heat off D-Hop.
Yeah.
Like I think if Kyler Murray, if the Cardinals pull off Juju Smith-Schuster, along with what he's got going forward weapon-wise,
Kyler Murray,
to add him,
D-Hop, Juju
and then obviously on the defensive side of the ball with JJ Watt recently, I think they're, for me, a shoo-in to at least make playoffs easily.
100%. I mean,
Easily.
Guaranteed to. I mean, that's an attacking trident you wouldn't want to mess with, because Kyler Murray brings you something completely different. He looks so small, and
I don't think he can throw it as far as he actually does.
Yeah, his arm is phenomenal, but he is, I mean, arguably the most mobile quarterback.
One of, yeah.
He's probably the only one that you say maybe next to him is going to be Lamar.
Yeah.
In terms of mobility, and the difference is that Kyler Murray is smaller, so he's more agile. He gets away from people more.
He does look tiny when you watch him play, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he looks so small.
He's
Someone's little son playing at quarterback.
you
But
get
you don't see a neck; it's just like pads.
So
He's
he's
got his
not,
dad's pads on and he goes on the field.
Yeah. Phones of his dad. Goes, I've got a game on Sunday.
I mean, he's 5'9", 5'8", 5'9". So he's he's not huge, but he's not tiny. and he's 93 kilos. So what's that?
Jesus,
in-
I think it's
Rapid,
because most QBs, traditionally QBs are quite tall and quite broad, and he's standing behind some very big blokes,
Yeah.
and he just
Do you think
looks-
It makes you wonder how he can actually see over some of the players sometimes.
Do you think his offensive line in front of him are big men? The next row of people are the opposing team's defensive line. So you've then got 2 rows of behemoths
Yeah, big boys.
and little 5'9" Colin Murray
big blokes.
square in between them.
Little kind of Murray.
Yeah, big old gridiron, get on it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, there's loads of. It's always that quarterback talk, isn't it?
Yeah, it always end up going to that quarterback talk. But I going back to Juju, I'm generally surprised that they've got rid of him. However, they've got a bargain in the fact they've still got a rookie. Well, not rookie anymore. In Chase Claypool, he's costing them nothing.
Some player.
So you either pay Juju
A hell of a lot, let's be real.
to keep him, but then why would you when you've got Chase Claypool? But it's like conveyor belt.
Didn't
Like,
Chase
it's gonna happen in
Claypool
3
go
years' time.
second round as well? I believe he went
Yeah,
second
so-
round.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the season that he had last year, that's an absolute steal because he was so good.
But he was an unbelievable player. Who else we got on this? Will Fuller, wide receiver. Texans, yeah.
I mean, he's been heavily linked with us. So obviously Corey Davis has gone into free agency, and apparently it's going to be too much for us to pay. And so there's been a link with Will Fuller, which I don't see happening. Texans to Titans, would you do it?
No, it's not going to happen.
Well, let's be honest, the Texans is toxic at the minute. You probably want to get out.
Yeah.
You take going to your rivals and take the
Say
stick
here
of the
that
fans.
maybe the Texans will re-sign him. 2 years, 255 million.
255 million.
255 million, 20 million guaranteed, and a 1 million incentive hitting 1,000 yards. I can't see it.
Christ.
I mean, would they offer that? I mean, the Texans would die straight, so they need something, don't they?
Need
then-
some pull to try and make
Yeah, because if it's
Deshaun
also,
stay.
it's also saying again, it's Cardinals coming up again for that. I mean, it's that wide receiver position.
My most interesting rumour that I've seen all week, or in the last couple of weeks, is the Raiders and Derek Carr. So I keep seeing things come through about
Oh, I forget about that.
about double swaps with Mariota and Derek Carr both going to the Seahawks potentially, with picks for Russ Wilson. Now I don't see that happening, but it's not. I've seen it on about 4 or 5 different rumours. I've seen it. I know Twitter's the news page to end all news pages, but I mean,
I just don't think Gruden likes Derek Carr.
if I'm a Raiders fan, 100% I'm taking out all day because Mariota's not a starter. He isn't. He's a very good backup, but I don't think he's a starter unless you talk to someone like the Jets.
Over Derek Carr though, Mariota. I don't know.
Yeah, and unless they're taking Derek Carr and Mariota to Seattle and trying to trade for Russ Wilson.
I mean, for Seahawks, it's an absolute garbage trade
Yeah.
for me.
Like,
I would want a lot more in guarantees if I was trading our franchise QB for Derek Carr
I mean,
and
I think they're
Marcus
They may
Mariota.
be putting picks into
Yeah,
it as
it's
well,
not
but I just don't see Derek Carr not being a Raider wherever they're based, whatever's going on.
I don't even think it's necessarily that. I think it's more Seahawks would just turn their nose up at it personally. Because why would you want to go from that to that? Even if he does want to go, like, I don't know. I just think I can't see that happening
I mean,
personally.
the only thing I say that's going to draw him is Seattle versus Las Vegas. You know, geography wise.
Would you rather go to somewhere that's a bit rainy and cold, or would you rather go somewhere
desert.
desert with nothing in it but
A strip with loads of-
Vegas isn't actually that big.
No,
No.
Vegas was smaller.
It's
But
like you
Nevada's
could do the
just
strip
vast open span, but you're very close to them.
Yeah, when we're driving there, and I literally was like, you're in the middle of the desert. It's a constant. And all
You're
of a
very
sudden,
close to places like LA. aren't you?
it just appears out of nowhere, and it's like, what the heck? There's just a city in the middle of a desert.
You know, if you think of the celebrity football player,
Oh, 100%.
Russ Wilson's one of them,
Yeah, of course.
and Vegas is a lot closer to Hollywood
Vegas, baby.
and LA and everything like that. Then you're in nice little northern Seattle.
I just want to go to their ground. Their stadium's unbelievable.
What's that?
Yeah.
Raiders.
Raiders with the big slidey door
Yeah, it's
things,
cool.
and
Oh, it's
the
unreal.
eternal flame art. Oh God, don't get too excited.
Kind of outweighs the team as such, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It really does. Look at it here as well on some of the free agents. Shaquille Griffin, the cornerback for the Seahawks. Now, this is the guy, I believe, with one hand.
Believe it is. They're both players.
They're
Brother,
both
twin brother.
Yeah, twin brother. Which I find mental how this guy can play
At corner.
at corner. But hey, he does it, and
He's smashing it.
And
smashes
he's good
it.
at it. He's very good at it.
Saying Seahawks might potentially re-sign. Jaguar offer. Go on the Jags. You know what? Jags are going to come up, I think. I think the
Yeah.
Jags or something. Yeah, I don't know. I've got this feeling the
They've got
Jags.
some players. They drafted well last year. We've got a couple of good ones in there.
I think we're going to see more people leaving as well. Not so much as the Jags general, but I think big players are going to leave quite big teams when you're looking at the new cap. So it's taken what you saying earlier, George?
8% decrease on last year.
8% decrease, which is the first decrease it's had in
11 years, I believe. Yeah, which is crazy.
And you've got people like the Saints who are on minus $38 million. So you look at what have you got, Drew Brees, whether he retires or not.
Yeah.
You've got a whole host of Kamara's contract's got to be huge.
Yeah, you would have thought.
He's a beast, though, isn't he?
Michael Thomas, yeah.
You wouldn't have thought that's not small. Yeah.
Other teams.
I think Taysom Hill, didn't they sign him to a QB contract as well, which I can't imagine being cheap, to be honest.
Yeah,
even though he's a utility man, pretty much. Does everything.
The Rams, they've got minus 30 million, plus the fact that
because their max contract is like garbage quarterback.
Well, I say the pending trade of Jared Goff is going to amount to 22 million of dead money. $34 million of dead
Even
money.
more
this
these
year.
He's just a dead bloke, isn't he? He's just a terrible garbage player. He is.
So you're going to see big players from there that take a.
Well, no, we're big QB fans and QB heavy in this pod, but we're going to keep this going because we haven't mentioned our man Jameis. Jameis
Free
Winston,
agent, yeah, Jameis Winston.
free agent. God, did you sign him to a backup? But then they got you say that Taysom Hill. I don't know. Do we rate Jameis? That's the question. Do we rate him?
No, I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's starter potential. Is my honest thing.
When we look at his stats for the not necessarily the Saints but the Bucks, well, I don't think they were anything to write home about.
But the last season was
his last season, was it 30 interceptions he threw in 1 year?
He's going to be one.
And then he's still got to move to the Saints, which I thought was a bit crazy. But
I just think he's going to be one of those QBs where if you have if you're a really poor franchise, so if you have a Jets come in and the Jets want him as a starter, he gets the role. But I don't think he's going to go to a quality team, a playoff potential team.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a starter for any one of them. I think you could probably say all three of our teams are playoff potential.
Yeah.
No chances he makes starter.
No, he doesn't. No.
And I think that's the same across the board. The only place he might have got in somewhere like that would be the Colts if they're, as we said, they're looking for someone who they can just sign to single or 2 year contracts while they try to find the right person. That's the only chance he'd really have.
I think Jameis Winston's just going to float around.
Yeah.
I think
he's
he's
just
going to.
I don't think anyone wants to take franchises want to take a punt and sign him to not necessarily a max contract, but a sort of big-ish contract.
Especially in this year of all years where they've got a decreased cap space.
Of course.
The people are going to be more willing to take a risk. We've got a bit more room, we've got some money, we can probably throw it just to take the risk. But
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's not garbage. Like you say, as far as backups go, he's not terrible. But if you had him as your backup, you wouldn't be like, okay, if we had him at Dallas last year, like, okay, it's not great, but I wouldn't really lose sleep over having Jameis Winston come in as a backup QB. Like I think personally for me, his days as a starting QB for a franchise, like as a franchise QB1, are gone. Personally.
Oh yeah, I don't think he's there anymore.
Another thing we haven't spoken about, QB. We haven't got a Washington.
Yeah, true.
The football team.
The football team. The Washington football team. Washington FC.
FT. Washington FT.
Oh yeah, sorry. Don't know my letters. FC. I'm just thinking of our football. Washington FT. Yeah, they've got their backup, Heineke, is now.
They signed him.
He's currently looking like he's a starter.
He's
QB1.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he in the XFL last year?
Yeah, XFL. He was a Vince McMahon prodigy.
Yeah, Vince McMahon. He was with the
St.
Louis Battlehawks.
Two podcasts, two WWE mentions. Get us a little contract going on there, Vinny.
100%.
But yeah, it was
and Alex Smith going.
I think they're crazy. I know it's risky with Alex Smith's history, but a man who wins Comeback Player of the Year has done it not just because of what he's gone through, but how he actually performed. I don't think he performed too bad.
No, his first game back, fair to him, I was rooting for him. I remember watching that game and I was just shouting at the scene. Not only because I had a bet on it. But I was shouting at the screen like I've never wanted Alex Smith
I
to
remember
do so
watching
well.
him take. I think the first tackle that he took.
I think everyone was
Come on.
wincing at that one there.
Oh,
Everyone was
sorry.
like, oh, please don't be hurt.
That hold of your breath was watching him like, please get back up, please get back up.
Yeah.
And everyone was willing him to do well, and I don't think he did too bad. You know, again, he didn't blow anyone away.
But again, for me, he's not. He's another one. He's not a QB star franchise for me anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he's one. I mean,
I think for him,
more so
he lost 2 years of his career, prime years. I think maybe a year or two with his injury.
I think he's just going to be a backup now.
And I feel like he's
But I think
got a point to prove, isn't he?
To be fair, if I had to choose between him or Jameis as backup, I'm choosing Alex Smith. I think
Oh.
he's more solid.
He's a leader.
I think it's makes better decision making.
Yeah, but
He doesn't panic.
I think you're right there, Chris. That he's complete. Yeah, his decision making. He's seen a lot more. He's more comfortable with being under pressure.
Younger players will look at him and go, "I'm going to listen to that guy because."
Yeah,
What he's been through,
in
what he's
your
been
locker
through.
room, he's going to be filling your team every week. They're going to be built up. Like, we've got to do this as a team.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see how it goes with Washington. I mean, I can't see them getting. I mean, are they going to get another QB? I don't know. I mean, they're just going to run with.
I think they're going to
Heineke.
draft. They're going to be pushing everything out in the draft, aren't they?
Yeah, very true. I'd like to congratulate you, Reece, during that last segment because we had a power cut during this last pod, and all the lights went out apart from one set above us, and Reece just carried on.
Kept on talking.
Just kept on talking.
Ever the professional.
me and Habba were looking at each other like, what's going on? I look at the back and it's like, it's not charging. Oh no.
We're going to lose power.
Congratulations on that one. Cool, I think we'll leave it there for QB talk. And
Yeah, QB talk can do one. I mean, are we going to go into what is one of our first...
yeah, our first little...
Our original segment.
Game show. The game show.
We've
SBB.
We've come up with an original segment, SBB. You might commonly know it as Shag, Marry, Kill, or Shag, Marry, Avoid. We've made it Start, Bench, Bin. So each of us have got a category or a position. We will name 3 players. The other 2 will discuss them and say what would be their starter, who would be on the bench, and who can go and get in the bin. And then we'll compare to the original asker to the 2 kind of conversations and see who goes where and what.
Yeah.
So I mean,
cool.
we'll let we'll continue and stop the quarterback talk by going into our next segment of SBB.
Now this might sound a little bit disjointed. We have just had some food. We have just had a cut. But hey, we're professionals here at the 3-Man Draft. We do.
But we're back.
But we're back. The conversation was left of doing SPB and starting with quarterbacks, but we talk about quarterbacks all the time, so we're not starting with quarterbacks. So I'm going to start with myself. I've done defensive ends. I'm going to give you 3 players. You should know them all. So the first one is TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, and Nick Bosa.
I haven't got any paper, so I'm typing these down as we do it.
You're typing them. I'll give you some paper.
That's
Some
right.
paper?
TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, Nick
I
Bosa.
like being old school with paper. Yes, so TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, and Nick Bosa. They're my 3 start, bench, or bin. The fact you've got to bin one of those is quite upsetting. But one of those might is very good at removing helmets.
That might help.
I mean, for me, I feel I'm kind of very actually cracked on with it. To be fair, I think Myles Garrett's going to be my bin. I won't lie.
Bin Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I think Myles Garrett's my bin. I'd argue a very valid George Hampson point that TJ Watt was potentially, very potentially,
No potential.
robbed.
He was
of
extremely robbed.
defensive player of the year last year.
Was it most tackles?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, you know what he did last season, or 2020 season was nothing short of phenomenal. So I think he, for me, is very very easily also the start. So that leaves Mr. Bosa just as the bench. I mean,
Big
I don't know how you see that,
Bosa on the
George.
bench.
I don't know how you see that, George. I mean, for how I know you were very passionate about TJ Watt. So where's he for you?
Do you know what? I like all 3 of them. It's really you've actually stumped me a little bit, Jonesy.
Got to bin one of them. One of them's got to go into the virtual 3-man draft bin.
Will he stay there or will he come out
No,
again?
he's gonna
It's
stay in
also
there.
room 101, isn't it? Who are we completely getting rid of and never coming back?
yeah, I agree with Reece in the sense of start-wise, it's got to be TJ Watt. For me, because he was so... I will say it again, he was robbed of Defensive Player of the Year last year. Don't get me wrong, Aaron Donald was good, but TJ Watt, I think, he had an absolute monster year. To then not win it was a disgrace. And then that leaves Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett. I'm going to have to agree with Reece. I'm going to have to this one. We don't agree on much, but I think I'm going to have to agree with you on this one, Reece. Just because, yeah, Nick Bosa, as far as defensive players go, I think he's top 5 for me. Yeah, he's
The Bosa brothers.
Yeah, I think, yeah, he is. He's a crazy machine. And yeah, don't get me wrong, Myles Garrett's a tricky one because I do rate him. I think he is.
For me, it was as simple as I don't really like the Browns. So I found it that difficult. I think I was very much odds on for TJ Watt to be the starter there. You know, that there was no doubt for that for me. But between Bosa and Garrett, it was a case of.
So we're both.
No, I'm going to change my mind.
Oh, you are.
I last minute changed mind. I'm going to go. Yeah, I've been off Nick Bosa.
Oh.
So what did you go for, Chris?
Well,
I mean,
it was going to be completely different until George did that. So I have put TJ Watt to start. Again, animal, the Watt brothers, and like I say, he was robbed. His stats show just how ridiculous he is. So yeah, he was my starter. Myles Garrett was my bench. I think he's ridiculous. He's an animal. Yes, he had a few issues, getting a bit angry. Myles Garrett was my bench, and my bin was Nick Bosa. So that's where I went. So yeah, we were going to be different, and then last minute I changed it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say Paul Mason Rudolph.
Poor mate. I just all I can think of is the memes with his head, the helmet.
What's the first thing you can hit someone with? Oh, the helmet I've got on.
That's the first thing I've got to hand.
So I mean, it's now down to me and George to take our turns. I have a coin flip here. So George, do you call heads or tails?
Tails never fails.
Like a virtual coin flip.
It is. It's heads. So,
okay, so it does fail.
Tails
do fail.
Tails
Cool.
has failed. I'll let you go next. I'll go last. I'll let you go next.
All right.
So you are covering.
I'm covering the quarterback position again. I know we talk about it a lot. Yeah, we talk about it a lot on this podcast, but I think in American football, it's the position everyone wants to play, isn't it? Really, it's
the striker.
Yeah, it's the big time. It's the all eyes on me. So yeah, I've gone QB. So my 3 quarterbacks out there that I've decided for are Patrick Mahomes, has to be Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Josh Allen. So who are you going to start? Who are you going to bench? And who are you going to go and put in the bin?
Oh my god.
You stumped on here.
Oh god. You've got like 3
Obviously, I know
quarterbacks different abilities, but
and to be fair, at different points of their career as well. Because I mean, assuming we're basing it on current forms or last forms.
Yeah. It's a tricky one.
What you think?
It even stumped me when I picked these 3 quarterbacks.
I'm stumped. Who do I start? You know what? I'm gonna because of experience, I'm gonna start Aaron Rodgers.
Starting
Aaron Rodgers. A leader of a team. Knows what he's doing. Starting Aaron Rodgers. Oh no.
Just think they're going to go into the virtual 3-man draft bin.
I can't put this guy in the bin.
Along with Nick Bosa. Him and Nick Bosa can chill in the bin.
We need to actually save these and have the virtual 3-man draft
We'll create the bin.
By the end,
that'll make a good team. I'll tell you. That'll make a very good team.
By the end of the season, we've just got this bin of players and we're like absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. Oh God. Benching Pat Mahomes, binning Josh Allen.
Oh.
I know. Laser arm over here. That's awful. I'm so sorry, Josh, but you're being binned over.
I'm intrigued what you're going to be, George, but for me,
A-Rod
is completely different to yours.
I think I know what Reece is going to go.
You're going to bin A-Rod.
No. I reckon he's going to bin Pat Mahomes. I do.
No, do you know what? No, this is right.
Oh, you are.
This is right. Okay. So I mean, I'll go upwards then. So yeah, my bin is A-Rod, is Aaron Rodgers. It's difficult. It's very difficult. My 2 reasonings, realistically, are our age, which isn't to say that older QBs can't do it, based on the fact that Tom Brady just won the Super Bowl. But
age, and I'm also going on the fact that I think it's very obvious, again, irrespective to what's happened in the last season, I think the NFC is a bit less than the AFC.
Big up the AFC.
So for me, bin Mr. Rogers. My bench.
How dare you, Ben Rodgers?
I know, my backup's going to be Josh Allen.
Just think of what you're saying there, Reece. You're benching A-Rod.
I've been in A-Rod.
Been in A-Rod,
I've been getting him in the bin.
He's never to be played again.
I'm binning A-Rod. I can't bin Josh Allen. I think there's so much potential in him that, and I'm based on that. I think he was phenomenal this season. Phenomenal the year that's gone past. So yeah, Josh Allen's my bench, and Pat Mahomes, who is
You can't bench.
you can't bench Pat Mahomes, let alone bin him. So for me, Pat Mahomes starts. Josh Allen on the bench. Binning Aaron. It pains me to say it. Aaron of the Rodgers. It kills me.
Do you know what? Okay, I'll go for mine. So, well, depending on what team we've got, i.e. defensive players and wide receivers.
It's not like that.
No, I'm saying that. But if we're going on as a good team, I'm starting Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We've all gone for a different...
I'm benching Pat Mahomes, and again, it pains me to say, but I'm binning Josh Allen.
I'm 0 for 2 on the bins.
Just purely because
Josh Allen's just been binned off.
Josh Allen
like you say, it's painful to say.
Josh Allen has
It is painful to say.
I couldn't bring myself to bin Josh Allen. I couldn't do it.
I do like the guy.
Yeah,
I really like the guy.
I'm a big Josh Allen.
You can't not like him. But yeah, for me, I just think the experience side of things, Aaron Rodgers would give you.
How we record? So these bins, are they going to be? Is it going to be just Nick Bosa and Josh Allen? Or are we just binning each one? Are you putting it on the bin?
I've gone for the one that is the majority, and then I
Oh.
think if we have a 3-way tie, the person whose category is just gets it is how I'm thinking we're
Yeah,
on.
like that.
So that comes to me then with wide receivers. I've gone for a mix. These were all, I believe, were all in the top 20 for wide receivers last season, based on stats.
Stat memories.
So
Step man.
we have Amari Cooper.
Cool.
No Dallas Cowboys bias there, please, George.
Sorry.
Kenny Golladay, Lions, and Julio Jones. Big Julio. Kenny Golladay
That's quite a good selection, actually. I wasn't expecting you to.
No.
Kenny Golladay of now in free agency apparently as well, so very much up for grabs. Whether that could come back to haunt the Lions is something to be discussed later on. But what's your thoughts? Who are you thinking? And any kind of tips at the minute? Or?
I think I know already.
You
Where I'm going
know?
at, yeah.
Sure.
So for me, I want to start Amari Cooper,
Okay.
and then I'm going to bench Julio Jones.
Yep.
I'm going to bin Kenny Golladay. I love Julio Jones, to be fair. Between Amari Cooper and Julio Jones, that's probably who I was going to start is probably the hardest. Julio Jones he's been around and he's just unbelievable. He's got a lot quieter recently.
Yeah.
I think that's because of the team around him.
Yeah.
There's not much
Matt
really
Ryan's
happened.
Passed it a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, Amari Cooper, 100% is going to start. Kenny Golladay, poor bloke, he's on free agency and I've just binned him.
He's not getting.
You've got no home.
He's getting the bin team. He's getting the bin team.
Hold on, does that mean he's going to miss out on old Jared Goff?
He is.
What a poor bloke. It's
What a lucky man, George.
Oh no,
George.
that's probably better than a payday for him.
I'm assuming that you're going to match Chris because I don't think you're going to put anyone above Amari Cooper. I think your bias comes through here.
Well, there's two sides. Obviously, yeah, being biased as a Cowboy. But I just think if you actually watch, obviously I watch a lot of Cowboys. I don't know if you boys do, but if you actually watch him, he's actually scarily good. Like he is an absolute specimen of a man. The things he can do. If it's almost like a 4th down or 3rd down, long play, it's 9 times out of 10 he's Dak's go-to. I think he even became Andy Dalton's go-to last year. You can just put the ball up, single, double coverage. It's a good, I'd say 8-9 times out of 10 he's going to go up and get it. He is, for me, as the Cowboys, close to what we had as to Des Bryant at the minute.
So does he start for you out of your 3?
He starts for me, yeah. So going off topic, he starts for me. If you couldn't tell, and I actually agree with Jonesy. So I have benched Julio Jones, and yeah, I have been Kenny G. Unfortunately, sorry Kenny G. Don't worry, he'll go to bigger and better things, and he will be good.
At the bin club.
But yeah, at the minute he's in the 3-man draft bin.
3-man draft bin.
In the B1.
Turns out that could be a really good team. So it could be fall on his
He's
feet.
joining Josh Allen and Nick Bosa.
He could fall on his feet. It's not a
This
bad
is really
trio.
good. I think hopefully by the end of we could have a squad that you've got to literally go. So the squad consists of
Super Bowl winning team.
yeah, Josh Allen at quarterback.
So for me, we've first of all on our first go of SSB, we have reached a unanimous in one place at the very least in the bin.
Kenny G, bless
Kenny
him.
Golladay has very much. He is rock bottom of the
The
bin.
unlikelihood of him listening to this podcast, I mean, it's up there. But
Mr. Kenny, please do
I'm so
apologise.
sorry.
If you want to come to Tennessee, by all means do. We would need someone to replace Corey Davis, and very much please do come along.
Or come to the UK and visit us on the podcast.
Yeah, come to the UK, be a guest.
Either or.
First guest, you can be special.
I the latter.
For me, yeah, I disagree with both of you. I personally,
He's going to do it out of spite. I know it.
no, it's not a spite. For me, Julio Jones is the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Whoa.
Right,
Oh.
I'm calling it.
Behave.
And my reason for it is the way he runs. So his routes that he runs.
I like the way he runs, like Raheem
No.
Sterling.
So therefore, he is the best in the
Pushing his back
NFL
up, no.
because he runs well.
No, it's more the routes that he runs. He's powerful, he's strong, he's quick. For me, is the best wide receiver in the league. And so he starts, and Amari Cooper is on the bench.
I wouldn't say he's the best, but I will agree he is one of the
Oh, he's one of the
best.
goats. in wide receiver position.
The thing is, I can't sit there and honestly say someone who's better than him. That's why for me he's the best wide receiver, and that's even saying that.
You know what? We share the same surname. I should have really gone for him as my favourite.
You've sacked off the Jones name.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mr. Kenny Golladay is the first unanimous decision into the bin.
So the
Unfortunately.
bin.
If you send us your address, we'll send you a wooden spoon or a golden bin.
You're gonna get branded bins to come to you.
Honestly, it's not a bad thing. It's technically a good thing.
Go
so.
full UK. There'll be full on wheelie bins.
Yeah.
It will be branded TMD, and it'll be a special prize for you.
Because each of our face on each side of the bin.
What? Yeah, one side is off. Each side is a face, and the final side is the.
Imagine like seeing a video link to like. I don't know, Josh Allen in the future in the background. He's got all these nice awards and just bin. It's like a little flip.
Where it all started.
Imagine that.
I think the only reason we
I think
should-
people are PAs. We've got to get in contact. We'd like to send him a gift. What's that? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a little wheelie bin.
COVID's a thing, but can we send you a bin?
I want to do this, but I also don't want to pay the shipping costs into America from here.
Yeah.
We'll have to find a US supplier. Can we do this? Can you just send it directly
Can you
to
3D print us some gold bins?
Josh Allen, the care of the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
Well, that was the first and the definitely not the last SBB we've done.
Yeah,
Start,
definitely do it each.
bench, and bin.
That's good fun.
It might pop up every week. It might pop up every other or every couple of podcasts. Want to keep it fresh, keep it good for you guys.
Yeah, and if you guys on the social media, we'll put it out so you guys can pick 3 players for us. So therefore
Well, I mean,
we can
we'll
can
put
crack
out
through.
the we'll put out 3 individual polls. We will put out the individual polls and
Yeah, I
you
like that
vote
idea.
on where you think whether we got it right, whether George and Chris got it right because they went against me on every single one. So yeah, whether we think we got it right or what your say is.
Cool.
So what we're going on to now is last week I think it kind of took off with the social media Ask Us Anything. So I think we've put out there again social media memories, and I believe we've got quite a few questions to answer.
Yeah,
So
maybe not as many as last time. We've got good 5 or so. And they are solid questions. I'd like to add. So I think starting off with, I'll just pick one of them first of all. Our opinions on best and worst uniform or kit in the NFL.
what a question.
What a question.
Shout out whoever that was.
I mean, I know we very, very, very mildly touched on this with you more personally, George, with your love for boots.
Yeah.
And the look of Russell Wilson in green boots with the Seahawks.
Alvin
kit.
Kamara's Christmas boots.
Alvin Kamara's Christmas boots were phenomenal.
Still up
So
there.
this time it's the actual uniforms or the kits.
Are we basing it on last season?
I think
Or in
history.
general?
I don't know.
History, yeah, anything.
Oh,
you
in
like.
history. Oh,
I mean, it's what you know. I mean, I don't expect you to be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I really like
Yeah, this
the.
is
I like the
1960.
I like the Browns kit from 1960. Yeah, well.
But yeah, you know, for you, George, you were very passionate about some boots.
well, yeah.
So
Well,
you've
you know
got-
where I'm going to start.
And you've gone juicy, so I'm going to go juicy.
Yeah, well, I'm going to start with best kit. For me, Seattle Seahawks. Has to be.
I think we touched on this a bit last time, didn't we?
Well, this is what
It's
said
just
that with Russ's
it
boots.
went from bad to good to really nice. I think. Just the whole sort of. I don't even know what to put a finger on. It's just cool.
It's just that lime green, isn't
Yeah.
it? It does look cool.
It's kind of minimal, like the kit in general, but then you've got the splash of colour.
Carbon fibre.
Yeah, I think that's dead cool.
Have you seen their kit from years ago? That was really drab.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah. Their drip's gone up.
Gyps and
Russ
drabs.
brought it.
Yeah, and obviously going on to my love of boots, as you mentioned, it's just with a bright green pair of boots. It just looks ledge. So
I mean, for
Loads
me,
of people in this country are like, "Oh, I love Seahawks." What's that? Oh, they've got a really cool
real
kit.
yeah,
See, I think another one is the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins stand out. Their turquoise and their splash of orange against it. It has it's something.
So
that
your best you're saying is for you is the Dolphins? Or?
No, do you know what? My that's my kind of honourable mention. My favourite is really boring.
No.
It's genuinely is probably the Raiders.
Not the black and silver.
Yeah, do you know
I mean,
what?
it's very minimal,
someone
but it's
who-
cool.
I'm
Silver and black, so
all black everything kind of guy, and that black with
Currently wearing an all black
currently
tracksuit.
all black. So
All three
yeah,
of us are, aren't we?
Yeah.
we're all wearing black.
All in all black.
All in all black. So yeah, for me, all black, little splashes of silver to highlight it, and then usually when you've got that silver helmet coming off.
And the arm accessories, the arm sleeves when they're black.
Yeah,
They
so
look
I
cool.
mean, for
Yeah,
me,
granted,
that
that's
kind of minimalistic, but it makes it stand.
It bangs.
out.
Let's be real.
It
bangs.
looks good. It looks really good. I can't think of a worse one, to be fair. I mean,
The
Browns- the
the
Brown-
Browns one.
the
They
Browns
also have
Browns
like
one.
yeah, it's like an orange and a horrible brown, and it looks disgraceful.
Is it that they're kind of like almost a set?
I'm pretty sure they've
brown with the orange number. I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
but they've
man.
changed their kit loads in the last years because they've gone from they're like
Garbage.
They've gone to the older kits to try and bring them in, and then more modern ones. The Browns kit is always a little bit.
I don't think their home kit this year was all right.
The helmet's old, but
This thing, I don't think
But-
you can see it, but for me, this weird kind of muddy green brown
Yeah,
with
man.
orange stripes and an orange number.
You just look. Yeah, I just.
I don't hate it that bad actually. The more I look at it,
It's the brown. Right, do you know what?
I know you can't not have a Browns, but
see my actual worst
But
kit.
it's almost green.
So what for you? Are you saying George? You're saying
I don't even think, like you say there, when they have the brown top and the brown bottoms, it doesn't look as bad. But
It's
I
when
believe
it's
they had
white
like an
bottoms.
orange. No, I think they had an
Orange
orange
bottom.
top or an orange bottom and like the brown top or bottom, and it just looked absolute
Clashed.
yeah
It really clashed.
garbage. So for me,
Obviously, of course, we are all three of us extreme fashionistas and
Oh, yeah,
know
of
the
course.
world inside out.
of course,
satin tracksuits and
Yeah.
hoodies.
We're all at Fashion Week every single time it comes out each season. But I mean, yeah, for you, Jonesy, what are you think?
I don't know. My best looking kit. I think Seahawks has got to be up there. I think you kind of stole my thunder with that one. I think that's probably what I would have gone to. I'm just racking my brains trying to think like some of the nice. You know what? It's going to be really controversial. I actually really like the new New York Jets kit.
all
That
green.
got the metallic green
I
helmet.
agree with
Yeah.
that. To be
Oh,
fair,
that
The
got
helmet kind of offsets
that
it
got
to kill it.
launched, and some people were like, "What the hell is that?" And I was like, "I actually really like that." Like I think all the kits in the league are. I mean, the best looking kits are the Colour Rush kits when they're
Yeah.
all that one colour.
Can we just talk about real quick as well, just to see if I'm here? The LA Chargers. I think they brought out about 6 uniforms this year, and they were all nice. You know, the all dark blue with like the bright yellow lightning bolt.
Well, actually,
that
I
was
was
unreal.
just looking at the Rams. To be fair, their new ones. So you say that they're all blue one with the little yellow.
Nah,
kind
they've
of
got like
faded
a
number.
they've got like a looks like a computer sign. Their new logo. I'm not a fan.
I'm not their logo, but
I'm not a
anyway,
fan.
the Chargers is
It's sponsored by Microsoft.
Yeah,
yeah. They
Yeah.
bought 6 different kind of variants.
the
there.
far right one.
The
me.
the dark navy blue with
Yeah,
an outline but no fill for
But
that
they're
as well.
both LA teams. They mix it up, I think.
To be fair, also I'm not opposed to the Vikings. I know
That's the wrong purple, Reece.
Well, I know. I was about to say the purple being the fact of Baltimore's purple, but I really do like the Vikings purple. It's a bit brighter, a bit more poppy. I don't know.
The Vikings have a badass logo, to be fair.
They do.
They do have a badass logo. Yeah,
I'll shout out Baltimore Ravens. They always come through drip. Their all black kit from I think last year, the year
all
before.
black. I love
That was
that
nice
all black.
with the purple name and
Yeah.
letters. That yeah.
That all black kit
And the
does it
numbers.
for
What
me.
Were
we've
nice.
done here is we've not really answered it. We've just gone through near on everything.
Yeah, we have.
Everything that we like.
Housing
So
large
let's
team.
just for me my best. Right now, I just love green, so New York Jets. For me, it's going to be controversial. For you, how many saying Seahawks?
Got to be Seahawks. Yeah.
The worst kit.
Browns.
Browns.
The orange and brown kit that they had.
What
I
was your
agree with
worst
the
kit?
worst. I agree with the worst. Browns is for me So that brown's just not brown. It's
They're
a
kind of
greeny,
hard done by
browny
being called the
kind of-
Cleveland Browns, but
It's almost like that really poor. You know when you mix paint and you wash it all in the water, and it goes that weird kind of murky, greeny, browny black. It's more that kind of.
Oh
actually
yeah,
brown.
that'll do. Right, where are the kits?
nice kit colour. Let's mass make this.
But yeah, the favourite for me, basic, but Raiders black.
Raiders. I like the black and
Nice.
silver. Worse for me is going to be different. Still the same sort of colour. The Bengals. I just don't like the tiger stripes.
I think it's a bit weird.
I just think it just looks a bit.
It's a bit childish.
Bit
isn't it?
yeah, I don't know. They could make the tiger stripes meaner. They're like too wavy.
Yeah.
They're too like
Feeble.
They're like Frosties.
They could make him.
Got Tony the Tiger. They got Tony the Tiger on there. On their uniform.
I'm not being able to see the Bengals without thinking about Frosties.
Joe
Shout
Burrow's
out
going to come
Frosties.
out showing they're great.
Yeah, actually, the Bengal kit can be done. That's something about. I think well, to be fair, I think the rumours are that they are having a new kit. But from what I can see, the tiger stripe is still really limp.
A cub
limp
stripe, not a
stripe.
tiger.
It's just a limp
Yeah, it
stripe,
comes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Poor Joey B have to don that kit every day. Oh God.
Swiftly on, because Tony the Tiger.
We could talk about all night.
Yeah.
It's gonna just great.
If the Bengals, keep it to the Bengals,
God.
can strengthen their defence, how far can Joe Burrow take them? For me, I don't think very far.
Oh wow!
It's not so much just him on his own. I think they've got more issues than just their D.
I've not seen enough of Joey Burrow to really probably give a really definitive answer.
No, yeah, I mean college football is completely different, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean he got injured pretty badly. He's coming back. I think he will. He's got it. He's definitely got it. But it's so hard to say. It's so hard to say.
Also, it's about now how he comes back from
And
this
he bounced
injury, 'cause
back,
it was
yeah.
a very bad injury.
That is an injury that even our football players struggle to come back from.
Yeah,
But
man.
that can be in some places.
Was it like ligament? It's like
ACL,
yeah.
I think it's both, wasn't it?
Yeah.
MCN, ACL.
So
Ligament
for that
repairs,
to come back
yeah.
is big and it's almost that Alex Smith kind of you're gonna wince whenever you see him with tackle first of all.
I think for me it's I think like you say, James, you've not seen enough. I think the hype around, I think he deserved the hype because I think in college he was a disgrace how good he was. But like you say, I think coming into the league, I think it even shocked him. Like the defenders hit different in the NFL than they do.
It's almost men versus boys, isn't it?
It can't- yeah.
It becomes you're against the best of the best who are the biggest and the most powerful.
And I think if you were to ask him, I think he'd honestly say it's probably harder than he had originally thought. I think if he can, if they strengthen, he can. But like I say, I'd like to
think-
see more.
Yeah,
A full season under his
I think
belt.
also with him, it's not just their D. I think they've got more. You know, with his receivers, I think they need to strengthen because he's got his own strengths, but I think that the team doesn't really all too fit around them.
No. I think I'm sort of
They're up and
repeating
coming.
myself, but I think we do need to see more of him because we've not seen loads. And I hate to sort of bring it back to Lamar Jackson, but he came in at the end of his first rookie season for like the last 4 or 5 games. Was all right, but no one ever really thought. Oh, everyone was like, yeah, he sort of
Just some kid, yeah.
he messed it up at the playoffs and we played the Chargers and he just got absolutely dominated and then no one really thought much of him. And then the following season he just absolutely tore it apart.
Yeah.
And I think if when he matures, like I say, it's a big
step.
big man's league.
Yeah, big time.
I think we'll have to see him next year, just see a bit more of him. So sorry, it's not really a very definitive answer.
I'll say yes.
He's got the ability. He has definitely got the ability. Whether or not,
I think also it's going to come. I don't think it's going to be instant. I think he needs to develop, and the team needs to develop. So it's not going to be definitely not this year. And
It probably won't be for the next couple of years.
no, yeah, I think that they're going to have to.
Depends who
stick
they
with him,
draft.
I think past his rookie contract. To get there, it would need to be past his rookie contract for them to stick it.
I'm a big fan of Joey B, so I'm going to say yes.
yeah, I do like him, even though he's in the same division as the Ravens, but I do like him. But sure.
Going back to our not so happy colour coordinations, are the Browns
we're sticking in the AFC North right now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Bengals, Browns.
Are the Browns serious Super Bowl contenders?
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I do agree.
I think we've discussed this before. I think Baker Mayfield can do bits if he's consistent.
Well, he proved it last year,
He did.
didn't he? Really?
I think it comes down with him consistency. I think there's games that he plays.
Yeah.
And he's one of the best. and then he'll come out maybe a week or two later and doesn't really show it again. But I think they're definite. They're serious playoff competition. I don't know if they're going to get past someone like the Chiefs still. I still don't see it.
I can't remember what game it was at the end of last season. It might have been against us, to be fair. It was just...
It was against us. It was against the Titans where we were like 40 points down and we had not so many on the board, and then we come back very much last quarter. But yeah, he played out of his skin. I think the first 3 or 4 drives were all just touchdown drives.
But I think you think they've done that without OBJ. They've still got him to come back next year. He was out for the season, I think, after early doors.
First game, second game.
Is OBJ still in contract with them?
Yeah, I think
I believe he is,
after this season.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I think definitely for me
It pains me to say it,
Yeah.
because the AFC North right now is just mental. You got Joey Burrow's just coming in the Bengals, and then you got Lamar Jackson, you got Steelers,
and you got Baker.
and then you got Baker. Yeah, and like it's just
Baker and the boys.
in an insane division right now.
shout out Adam Brown. I can't wait to come back and get a haircut. But yes, I think your Browns team will eventually be a Super Bowl contender.
We've got one from here which we've had to try to read because we're very, very not too much in know. The question itself is, what's the over-under for where you draft a running back? Now we're
well professional.
We are very professional. We've taken this as, how far into the draft would you physically take a running back? For me, I think unless you really desperately in dire need of one, it's never going to be the first round. I mean, saying that, as you very well know, George, Zeke was 4th in the draft, 5th in the draft, overall pick.
Yeah.
I think unless you are desperate for one,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
it's not going to go in the first round. I think most teams usually have a very good backup. They're usually stacked in that position. I could be wrong, but from what I could
pick one up in free agency.
Yeah, they'll pick one up later rounds as a backup, and then the guy that is their main starter would either cost them too much or get injured, and then they'll start using the backup guy who was like a 3rd, 4th rounder 2 years ago, and then he'll become the starter. So yeah, I don't unless it's like absolute dire need that you've got nothing there in that position. Yeah. It's not. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Think especially with almost the QB role's changed, where before I think it might have been higher up because QBs weren't mobile, but now a lot more QBs are happy to run the ball. Yeah. So you've got almost that option to pass or run directly within them. So for me, I don't see it being a high draft pick, if at all.
Pick one, round. Even could be pick 1 second round.
Yeah,
whatever We could be. We probably are going to get proven wrong. It'll probably get to the draft and it'll be like, running back's being picked at 3rd.
Yeah, it very well could be.
Oh, good.
But yeah, so that's where we kind of are on that. And then we do have what I believe is.
If we have completely got that answer wrong,
please DM us back on Instagram. And we'll try and cover it properly next time.
We're a professional outfit here at the 3-man draft, even though we had a power cut.
But we carried on like professionals, so it was fine. Our final question comes from a friend of the podcast, Mr. Wells. So, which non-American football athletes, so for this, any other sport bar the NFL or football itself, would you most like to see in the NFL, and either at which team or which position? So, I mean, that opens doors to every sport.
Great question.
Bring it in, Joel, the bangers of the question.
Oh, huge. I mean, you've got open doors, and this is going to tax our brain to every sport possible. You've got
being English, our natural instinct is to go straight to footballers.
Yeah, but I mean to go away from that, say someone who, if you want powerful runners, quick runners to beat a man, you've got the sprinters of the Usain Bolt caliber. If you're looking at that as a receiver,
imagine Usain Bolt running at you.
Usain Bolt as a receiver, we know he's going to beat you.
And he's
massive.
He is massive.
He's what? He's upper 6 foot, isn't he?
Yeah, easily.
If you're safety or corner, you're just be like, oh no.
Yeah.
He's going to give yourself a 30-yard head start on him, aren't you?
He's got legs on me the whole way, and that's the thing. He'd be difficult because you've either got to give him enough room to have the head start, or he's going to play it short and he's going to be there either way. So for that,
do you know who mine would be? I feel like mine would be LeBron James. I think he will be a savage wide receiver.
Good with his hands.
Exactly.
Big, powerful, good with his hands.
To be fair, but, I mean, he's an American sportsman. He probably has played a football.
Well, if you watch sort of like
or high school.
Well, I've seen them doing warm-ups, haven't they?
Warm-ups, and I believe in college, I think he did play American football.
Yeah.
I think he did. obviously, it's probably not even college. It's probably high school more so. But
I remember
I think he was a very good, highly rated footballer.
I mean, with the warm-up
American
videos,
footballer.
we've been throwing it, and he's been using the baseline as a
Yeah.
kind of a an in or out.
So for me, I think having him as somewhere like a wide receiver position, I think would be frightening. Really, be a frightening prospect.
My answer, actually, there's a player, or sports person, should I say, who's openly said he wants to play this role in the American football.
Harry Kane.
And it's Harry Kane.
Kicker.
He wants to be a kicker in the NFL. Imagine Harry Kane just like rocking up for like
The
3
knuckleball on it.
It's the wrong shape, Harry.
He's just gonna go in with full on knuckleballs to the top. Yeah, I mean, I think he's underestimated how difficult it is.
It's not the same as shooting from outside the
And
box,
to
is
be fair
it?
for him,
And he tries to keep it low a lot
So
of the
he's
time.
very
This
good
has
for
got
keeping it low,
this has
that's
got to be
what I mean.
ballooned up.
I think he's underestimated. I've watched a couple of videos of trying to replicate kickers, and there's a lot into it.
Yeah.
There's more into it than you think.
Shout out all the kickers in the NFL, by
Yeah,
the way.
Yeah.
there's not enough plaudits for you've got
Kickers
people
and
who-
punters.
Yeah, punters big time. I think they're even less of a well-respected profession compared to kickers.
Unless they got paid all right and just all they do
Yeah.
is come onto the pitch every now and then.
I
And
mean,
go,
who
yeah,
kick a ball.
Who do you think would make a good quarterback? Like for me, I'm thinking if we've got a goalkeeper because they launch the ball.
Petr Cech.
Well, yes, he used to launch the ball right,
The goal.
like an arrow, halfway up the field, and he went to play hockey afterwards. So he's someone who's done 2 sports. He's playing fairly local to
He's
us.
also a
at
really
Guildford.
good drummer, isn't he, or something?
Yeah, drummer. He was
Yeah, he
a
is.
player at
Yeah, he is.
Guildford. Man
Crazy.
of many talents.
Wow.
But,
Who else, apart from Hagen, who else would I want to see in sport?
If you're going to go obvious one, I'd say Cristiano Ronaldo. Just because obviously we watch football a lot here, but if the listeners do,
another would be a wide
his
receiver.
jumps, the height that man gets when he heads the ball in football is
Acceleration.
frightening. Acceleration.
all we can see is that we've found people who we think would be good wide receivers.
Yeah.
We've gone from being the quarterback one last time to the wide receiver show this one.
I wish I watched more rugby, because right now I can be like, yeah, this rugby would be
Yeah.
perfect offensive lineman. I just don't watch rugby.
Yeah, we've got a lot of listeners that like
someone
rugby.
like Mark Henry as an
Yeah.
offensive lineman.
Yeah, we'll have some
World's
wrestlers.
strongest man. They're all
The big show.
Powerful big
The
show.
big
Imagine
show can
them
be in there.
covering you.
I mean, you can get past them extremely easily, but you wouldn't probably be able to
Yeah.
outstrength them. I wouldn't have thought.
Just run around him, but if you run towards him,
You've
you're
got a
just
long way
gonna
to run. He's a big
Yeah.
man. Big man.
big boy.
I mean,
know.
that's our questions for the Q&A. I don't think we've got much to add for the rest of this
No,
episode of
we
the
could probably
podcast.
sit here and just talk.
We can
Or
ramble.
We can
but
ramble.
We'll end up boring you lot.
I mean, what could Should we go to our latest news? If anyone's come in during the time that we're doing this, I highly doubt it. No, nothing's changed.
Oh,
Nothing's changed.
Okay.
The latest news is still
It's on the same
TV.
stuff we've spoken
the
about.
Patriots have taken an L on signing Cam Newton for another year.
Yeah.
Brady's contract has confused the
The Bucks
hell
have
out of us.
got a W.
So there's me feeling bad about the fact we always talk about quarterbacks. You go to like the front page of like all these like NFL news articles, and it's literally Cam Newton,
QB.
then it's Tom Brady, and then it's Dak Prescott. So really, we're just
So all
following
we're
a
doing-
trend.
We've covered the major news.
We followed the trend. We are sticking to what people want to hear. The
Bill
policy.
Belichick jokes while getting hair chopped for charity.
Oh God.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
He's not gone for the bowl like.
What hair has he got to chop?
Yeah, I was going to say, struggling already, isn't he?
Has he gone for the home COVID bowl?
I can't just get where it goes in there and goes, yeah, I'll just have that, please.
All the curtains.
Or the
A couple of us
curtains,
here are rocking,
yeah,
with all the barbers being shut, we're rocking the
Two of us
90s
just brought back the 90s
I'm
boy
not-
band look.
boy band
I'm
look,
not
yeah.
rocking
Chris isn't
curtains.
taking part. He's being boring.
No, I just get my haircut at work.
Who's the owner with the very weird?
Oh, the Raiders owner.
The Raiders owner. I want to see Bill
Oh.
Belichick rock that look.
That is. I want to bring that up. Hold on. Raiders. I forgot what his name is.
Raiders owner haircut. He is
Good God.
a very rich man. I'm gonna bring it up on here.
Oh my
Look at the stinks of
Christ,
it.
that looks like a wig.
How much is he worth?
Mark Davies. If you want Mark Davis. If you want to Google Mark Davis,
His
right, listen
net
to this,
worth.
you will see.
If you want to laugh, have a look.
Oh, is that what he used to look like?
This
No way.
man's net worth is $500 million,
What does he do?
and his hair
He's not worth $500 million.
looks like
That's
it's
a
been
disgrace.
done by a child for their $1 pocket money. It is horrendous. Well,
Maybe that should be a new segment. Maybe we do the Mark Davis tribute, where we just pick a player that's got a really bad haircut.
I
can think of a few.
Nothing is ever,
I can think of a
ever
few.
going to match that. But yeah, we've rambled on now about haircuts, bowls, and curtains. So please stay safe, guys. Thanks for listening. Share us around. See if we can beat the 75 listeners of
Yeah.
last time.
We've actually done this less intoxicated as well, so
Yeah, we've done this.
Let us know what you think.
sober.
We've
More sober or more drunk? What do you think? Let us know.
Yeah, we are all completely sober.
we can't give you a beer of the week because we just sat here on sparkling water.
Yeah,
'cause
the
we're
most exotic.
bougie.
What was the most exotic we went with? You had a Vimto,
on San
and we've
Pellegrino.
had a San Pellegrino sparkling orange and pomegranate beverage.
Would recommend.
Would definitely
If you're
recommend.
thinking about it and you're looking at it, take the plunge, have it. Very nice.
But yeah, thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Subscribing.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, see you later.